But Cam, it is the final day of the regular season in the NBA tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot to look forward to going into the playoffs.
I was initially going to say, can you pass a piece of tissue, some Kleenex, because I'm a little sad. But then also I thought about it. Wait a minute, hold on. We have playoffs,
which is better than the regular season.
Right, exactly. So wipe the tears, you'll be just fine. But a wild and crazy regular season, as it always is in the NBA. I've said this time and time again that the NBA is the best reality TV show that you will find because it's drama on the court and a lot of drama off the court.
Yeah,
so I'm sure we have some stories to get into with that. But then also just how this final stretch run will go down in the East and also the Western Conference.
The West, that's what's
the wild thing about
crazy.
It. Yes.
Is when was the last time we had a logjam this tight in either conference?
Last
the
year.
way it is the West. Was it?
Yes. Last year for the West.
Okay,
and
good.
Probably the past
Keeping me
few
on
years.
my toes.
No, it's one of those things in the West because you can say for a lot of people that believe this, and this is people that are Eastern Conference lovers and, think that the East is superior. Good luck with that. But the West has been superior for a long time. That's why they have such a tightness when it comes to positioning for these top 6 spots in the Western Conference playoffs, but also with the play-in. So you're looking at teams like Oklahoma City, Houston, and Lakers. They're cemented. They're going to be 1 through 3. That's fine. But when you go 4 through 8, that's where if you lose just one game, just one, you could jump back from being a playoff team to jumping back to being a 9 seed play-in team. So that's just how drama-filled it is in the West. And it's the Wild Wild West. Shout out to Kumo D, because that's a old-school reference for people out there that feel me on that. Kate is looking at me like, I have no idea
I am not one of those
Kumo
people.
D is.
Nope, not me. Not this girl.
Come on, Kate. It's a classic rap song. Come on.
So I was thinking, actually, I don't know, earlier today or yesterday, you and Randy always give me movies that I need to watch.
Yes.
I should have homework. I can do one movie a week, right?
You can.
Movies just feel like such a commitment to me to sit down for 2 hours, but I think I can fit that into my terribly busy schedule.
I think it's maybe like a 2 to 3 minute song and maybe video as well. You can fit that in just on the drive home. But I'm with you. I think we're at the stage of life too where people will relate to it. I'm going to be 40 in July, and especially when you have kids, it's
You're
really
busy.
You have to put things off to the side to focus in and watch a movie, and mainly you have to put your phone to the side because how many times, I'm sure you go through this with your husband and Kevin, and I do it with my wife Lisa, where we're watching a movie and you see your spouse pick up the phone and you're like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are you doing this?
Right.
Because now
we're not watching a movie together.
You're teasing
on your
me.
phone
Now I want to pick up my phone.
Right.
And it's taken away from what we came here for, and it's to watch the movie. So I'm with you on that. So I give you more grace when it comes to the list of homework, the long list of homework when it comes to movies that you should watch.
I'll get better at that, though, so I can participate in these, the fun conversations that you and Randy have on the side.
Yeah.
Randy's not with us here today. Kenny, executive producing today, so you'll hear him throughout the show. But going back to the Western Conference and just the logjam that is. I mean, Kenny, he's doing a great job producing already. Threw a little question in the chat, right? When's the last time the Warriors were worried about seeding?
Yeah. It's interesting because Golden State, with just how they've played since the trade of Jimmy Butler, one of the best, if not the best teams in the NBA.
I think they have 3 losses.
Yes.
When Steph and Jimmy are on the floor together.
Right, exactly. So you don't necessarily associate, and I don't want to throw this word out, maybe it's more so concern instead of fear. I was initially going to say fear, but more concern when it comes to their seeding, because it's about the path that they would have to the Western Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. And you want to make your path as easy as you can. And some people are saying, well, Cam, they have Steph, they have Jimmy, they have Draymond Green. What should they be concerned about? They have some of the best players in the game on both ends of the floor. But you don't want to make your road tougher just because you have great players on your roster. You don't want to do that, especially at the stage that they are now in their careers. I mean, you're looking at all 3 of those guys really having 3 to 4 maybe good years left, solid years left of producing at a high caliber. Make the road easier. So with Golden State, every game counts, as it has counted since they made the trade of Jimmy Butler, but especially now when you have the final day. So you want to just put yourself in a position, hopefully, that someone else will cook their game and mess themselves up when it comes to their seeding.
Because if the playoffs were to start today, Golden State's in the 6th seed right now, so they would play the Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. I mean, that's a phenomenal first-round series for fans,
for
us watching. Yeah, but I'm not sure that's the spot that the Warriors want to be, is facing the Lakers right away, or vice versa, really, for the Lakers to want to face the Warriors in the first round.
I think the Warriors would prefer to face off against the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I think so too.
Lakers. You know, with all the turmoil that's going on in Denver, I'm sure we're going to discuss that with Nick Friedel of Odyssey and also Joe Cowley for the Sun-Times. But that team of firing Mike Malone, and it's part of a trend, a weird trend in the NBA that's going on.
What do you make of that?
It's weird because here you are, and the Memphis firing of Taylor Jenkins was a week before the playoffs started, so last week, and then you see the firing of Mike Malone this week, and you're like, wait a minute, don't you guys realize that at the time for Memphis, they were in the top 6 in the Western Conference.
I think they were 4th.
They were 4th, yes, they were 4th, right? Right there with the Lakers attached to them, and you fire your head coach? Like, you guys know that the playoffs are around the corner, like literally
around the corner.
Right there, right? And it's the same thing for the Denver Nuggets, where it's a stranger case with Mike Malone because 2 years ago, he led you guys to a championship. He is the greatest coach in your franchise's history, has the best winning percentage, most wins, has done a phenomenal job of building this team and maximizing the talent of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and getting them to play the style of basketball that is conducive to his philosophies. And you fire him a week before the playoffs? Huh? What's going on?
And I understand that the Warriors, or I'm sorry, the Nuggets had lost a couple games leading up to that, but so what? Like
it happens,
right?
It's the NBA.
You go on winning streaks a lot. You go on losing streaks every once in a while. Hopefully not as much as those winning streaks, but that happens. I think that it's more so from the conversations and the things I've read from beat writers covering this team very closely is that they had already planned to fire Malone and Booth both at the end of the season. And so there was almost that fear of what if we go on a deep playoff run, then we can't fire Malone because that would be even crazier than firing him with 2 games left in the regular season. So they were like, okay, we'll just cut ties now. But it doesn't make any sense. And you have to wonder now what Nikola Jokic is thinking of all of this. Because if he has been the quietest, most humble superstar I think that we have seen in quite some time in the NBA, because that's a players' league. You see Kevin Durant force himself out of multiple places, go to the Suns, might not be there much longer. James Harden doing the same, Kyrie, so many players. At what point is Nikola Jokic finally going to say, like, okay, I've played nice long enough. I want to go somewhere where the organization is structured well. I can win. Someone will build a team around me that has other superstars, because what's that stat that's been floating around all week is that Nikola Jokic has never played with another all-star on his roster. And Jamal Murray, yes, you can point to him. He's had injuries that's prohibited him from being named an all-star. Michael Porter Jr. has been very good, but not an all-star. There's never been another MVP on his team with him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And then it's also a season where Nikola Jokic will average a triple-double for the season. So only the 3rd player in NBA history to do that. So he has a lot of great basketball still within him. So if he's looking around and saying, okay, this is no knock to Jamal Murray, but Jamal's always hurt. I don't know what I'm going to get from MPJ, Michael Porter Jr., on a night-in, night-out basis. I mean, he can be electric on some nights, and then other nights he can just shoot us out of the game. Aaron Gordon has dealt with some injuries. We've seen that as well with him. And Russell Westbrook, that experiment has not worked out for the Denver Nuggets. So why do I want to stay around from this? But I will say this for Jokic. He's a loyal guy, but it comes a time, and we've heard the rumblings when it comes to Giannis as well, with his loyalty in Milwaukee. Like, you have to put pieces around these guys in order for them to stay. And I don't care if you're the most boisterous, confident, swaggiest dude out there that's going to voice their opinion and say, hey, trade me, or, just waive me. I need to get out of here. Or you can be humble like Nikola Jokic or Steph Curry to a certain extent, because people don't know that Steph has an evil Steph in him where he'll let you know who he is and what he needs to happen. Or same thing with Giannis. At some point in time, these guys are going to say, I need to move on. Because clearly you're not putting the pieces around me for me to thrive, this team to thrive. And I don't want to waste my years here doing this. I'm averaging a triple-double. I'm one of the best, if not the best, in the NBA. I'm not going to waste this thing. And I still feel that Nikola Jokic is not going to be one of these guys you're going to see play 15, 20 years. He's going to be a guy that he looks up and wakes up one day. It's like, I'm done. Let me go to my horses. All right, it's been a good run. I'll see you guys later. So you try and utilize the time that you have with them to the best of your ability, but it seems like Denver's going in the opposite direction. I feel this is the first domino for the Denver Nuggets, and it can be scary for them with the firing of Mike Malone. and trying to see what happens this offseason. You can play the game of saying, all right, well, Jamal wasn't as healthy. Aaron Gordon wasn't as healthy. We're going to try and give Russell Westbrook another shot next season. Christian Brown, who has impressed this season, he's really stepped up, has averaged a career high this season. But do you want to stay around for that?
Right.
And there are other teams that are going to come to that phone call and that negotiation table like, what will it take for us to get Nikola Jokic?
And you wonder what the price is going to be. Like, that's the big thing. Like there's been rumbles that maybe the Bulls could land him, or Jokic has interest in playing in the Bulls would have to give up a ton.
Yeah.
Basically.
Please, not modest. Please.
And no,
please,
we love
please,
modest. We love modest.
No. Josh Kroenke, don't ask for modest if the Bulls come to the negotiation table. Just stay away from that. But hey,
it's going to take a lot.
Nikola Vucevic.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
And that's part of it. I mean, it's going to take a lot more than just, it's not going to be Vucevic for Jokic.
No. You got to throw in a couple other pieces there, some draft picks, a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Been waiting to get rid of Patrick Williams, huh?
Oh.
Perfect timing.
I'd be fine with P. Will.
Yeah, you package them up. And this is going into a different conversation, but I was having this discussion with a couple of people recently, and they were saying Ayo Dosunmu, with just how we've seen with Josh Giddey. Obviously, Lonzo Ball has the team-friendly contract, 2 years, $20 million.
You still have
Kobe White there. Trey Jones has impressed in his role, even though he's out with injury.
Yep.
Who's the odd man
all
out?
of a sudden,
you
you're a
can't
very
keep all these
guard-heavy
guards.
team.
Yeah, and I love Ayo. Trust me, covered him since high school. Know him. I just ran into him the other day at the United Center. But when it comes to a business standpoint for this Bulls team, it's really kind of certain pieces aren't going to be on that table. I think Modest is part of it. I think Kobe White is part of it. And I think that Josh Giddey's going to be part of it as well.
Okay.
He's not going to be part of it as well because you're going to try and bring him back just how he's played. But everyone else can be expendable.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that one bit. Going to other European players that have shown so much loyalty to their teams over the years. Luka Doncic is one of those with the Dallas Mavericks scam. What were your thoughts watching that tribute video and Luka? Because whoever put together that tribute video had to be just saying in their heads, like, what in the world were we thinking?
Yeah.
That tribute video, I mean, not only watching Luka sit there and just tear up was like so moving and so sad.
Yeah,
it just shows how much he loved being there. But then you watch all those highlights too, and you're like, how in the world who let this guy go?
Unbelievable.
And we know that's Nico Harrison.
Yeah, you heard the fire Nico chants inside the arena of that
good.
game against the Lakers. I was surprised that Luka got emotional to the point where he was crying.
He was really
almost
crying.
Inconsolable.
Yeah, like he had. Did you see him ask for a towel right away?
Yeah, had to put his face in the towel, tried to look up again, say, "Okay, I'm over it," and then like, "No, I'm not over it. Let me put my face back into the towel."
His poor little lip was just quivering.
Like when you start to see the lip quiver when someone's
real.
crying, it's about to be an ugly cry. So that's why Luka grabbed the towel, just like, "No, let me put my face in the towel because I don't want to go everywhere and just go viral with an ugly cry." But when I saw him crying, I'm like, "Uh-oh." The Mavs were already in trouble. But now, if I'm Luka, like, okay, you made me cry before the game. You're about to get this work. And he gave him that work. And it was so efficient, too, the 45 points.
So efficient.
Like, you look at his shooting percentages, especially from 3, 6 of 8 from 3, and he just got his work done early. And so I was watching NBA TV, and they were going through the highlights, and one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time, Dennis Scott, mentioned this during the highlights of, like, why didn't Jason Kidd send another guy to Luka? And it started to make me wonder.
Ooh.
Did Jason Kidd try and send a message to Mavs ownership and Nico Harrison? Like, you guys messed up? It felt like that. Wait,
That's